Why does an inconvenient woman cause anxiety and misunderstanding? She is avoided and feared not without reason. She does not submit to control, changes the rules of the game, and refuses to live by someone else's scripts. What makes her strong and dangerous to those around her? In this video, we will reveal her secrets and find out why being inconvenient is not a flaw, but the main strength. Want to know what lies behind the image of an inconvenient woman? Then stay with us. The first trait is that she is not afraid to express her opinion. There are women who prefer to remain silent, even if everything inside them screams, just to maintain peace in relationships or at work. But an inconvenient woman is a completely different type of personality. She is not afraid to express her opinion, even if it causes tension or conflict. She knows that her thoughts, feelings, and ideas matter. She does not hide them just because someone might not like it. Such a woman will not agree just to avoid an awkward situation. She will not nod at an unfair remark, expecting someone else to tell the truth. If something bothers her or seems wrong, she will definitely raise the issue, regardless of possible consequences for many people. People get used to others agreeing with the course of events, but it is inconvenient when someone openly expresses disagreement. This causes discomfort to those around. It is important to understand, such straightforwardness is not about wanting to conflict. It comes from deep respect for herself and her inner strength. An inconvenient woman cannot simply swallow resentment or turn a blind eye to injustice. She does not strive to please everyone around her. For her, it is important to remain true to herself. If she has to choose between her comfort and others' expectations, she will always choose herself. This can shock those around her who are used to compliant people. Her straightforwardness is frightening because it reminds them that many stay silent at crucial moments. She is like a mirror reflecting the strength and weakness of those who prefer silence. Her strength lies in open truth, even if she ends up alone. Her words are impervious to pressure. She will not become part of the crowd that fears speaking the truth because her voice is too important to remain silent. The second trait of an inconvenient woman is the ability to set boundaries. She always clearly knows where her personal limits lie and does not allow them to be crossed. Her boundaries are not just rules of communication, but protection of her time, energy, and feelings. If someone tries to violate them, she will calmly but firmly say, "No." This is her strength. Many are used to women sacrificing themselves for others, forgetting their own needs just to please family and friends. For her, boundaries are not a wall to shut herself off from the world, but a healthy distance that allows her to preserve herself and inner balance. She naturally protects her space, even if it causes displeasure among others. Her confident no may seem like selfishness, but behind this lies a deep understanding of her own worth. She knows that her time and energy are not infinite, and they need to be preserved. If she doesn't protect them, she will simply become exhausted. She is not inclined to empty talk or actions for the convenience of others. Everything she does comes from a sincere desire, not from habit or pressure of circumstances. This makes her uncomfortable for those who are used to endless self-denial and sacrifices for others. She understands that when she is tired, she helps not only herself but also those around her. She teaches respect and sets an example. In relationships, it is important to respect each person's personal space. This requires courage and maturity, as it is much easier to go with the flow and avoid conflicts. Her independence is not only material freedom, but also a state of mind. She knows she can handle any difficulties on her own. She does not look for someone to solve all her problems. To those accustomed to traditional roles, she seems inconvenient. She doesn't need to be sheltered or controlled. She knows what she wants and how to achieve it without relying on others' approval. This independence causes discomfort in many because she does not need others' judgment and lives by her own rules. She is used to relying only on herself, and this earns respect from those who see true strength and independence in her. For many, especially those used to seeing women as the weak link, such independence becomes a real challenge and an incomprehensible force. However, she does not seek to challenge anyone. She simply lives as she sees fit, without asking for permission or approval. She is not afraid to make mistakes and learn from them because she understands that life is a process of growth and development, and mistakes are opportunities to become stronger. This awareness gives her even more confidence in herself and her decisions, allowing her to move forward despite difficulties and doubts. She is not afraid to take risks because she knows that in the end, she will always find a way out of any situation and overcome any obstacles. Her strength becomes uncomfortable for those accustomed to dependence and traditional roles where a woman is supposed to be weak and obedient. Such a woman is not afraid of change and does not cling to the old if she understands that it no longer brings her joy or benefit. She is ready to leave everything that holds her back and move forward, even if she has to start from scratch and take an unknown path. She always moves forward, even if only those who are afraid to take this important step in life remain nearby. For her, it is not just an opportunity to live by her own rules. It is the ability to choose her path and create life according to her own laws. Going through life, despite any obstacles, is the fourth trait of her character. She is not afraid of loneliness. For her, it is a natural state that allows her to understand herself better. Loneliness for her is not something frightening, but an opportunity to learn her own thoughts and desires. She does not cling to relationships just for company, valuing inner strength and self-sufficiency. Many fear loneliness, considering it wrong. But the uncomfortable woman sees it as time for self-development, paying attention to her interests, hobbies, and goals. For her, loneliness is not a punishment or a sign of problems. It is a time for reflection, analyzing actions, and planning without rushing to fill the void with unnecessary people. Her inner world is rich and does not depend on external factors. Loneliness brings her fullness, and she does not strive to maintain superficial relationships. This ability to be alone inspires admiration in few who see its depth, but can repel those accustomed to dependence on others. Attention. Society tends to think that a person must strive for relationships at any cost, but an inconvenient woman sees it differently, valuing her independence. Compromise is not about her. She is ready to wait for someone who truly puts in effort, not just fills the void to avoid being alone. Silence does not scare her. She is not afraid to be alone with her thoughts, unlike many who seek refuge in constant hustle or new acquaintances. She values moments of silence and knows that solitude is not the absence of something, but an opportunity to fill life with what truly matters. When she enters a relationship, it is not out of fear of being alone, but from a conscious choice, which makes her free in the deepest sense. This approach to solitude makes her inconvenient for those who expect a woman to seek constant company. She will not seek others' attention nor allow herself to depend on it, which makes her free and confident. The fifth trait, she challenges stereotypes. She is not afraid to stand out from the crowd and does not strive to conform to impose roles. She does not want to be convenient, simple, or meet expectations. Her choices often contradict what others consider right. She boldly breaks stereotypes, showing that a woman can be strong, independent, and live by her own rules. She is not interested in others' opinions. She lives as she sees fit, free from others' expectations and prejudices. Others think about her life, but she will not conform to others' expectations or fear judgment. She understands that stereotypes are boundaries that prevent a person from revealing themselves. She is not ready to accept these boundaries as her own. For example, when they say a woman should be weak, an inconvenient woman just smirks. She knows that strength does not depend on gender. Her strength is an inner sense of confidence, not a desire to prove something to anyone. She does not try to be a good girl by conforming to societal standards of the ideal woman. Her goal is to be true to herself. Even if this makes her inconvenient for those accustomed to traditional views, she remains herself. She can choose a career over family, not get married if she doesn't see the need, or decide on any actions outside the norms. This is her uniqueness. She does not follow rules just because it is customary. She always asks herself, "What do I want?" If her choice contradicts the opinion of the majority, she still goes her own way. This may irritate those who live by established norms. An inconvenient woman will not change herself for the comfort of others. Her life is a search for true meaning, not following someone else's rules. She chooses the freedom to be herself, even if this path is difficult and incomprehensible to many. Her strength lies in honesty with herself. Following others' standards is often imposed by those who fear stepping outside the familiar. By breaking stereotypes, a woman frees herself and sets an example for others. She gives others the opportunity to see that being inconvenient is not a flaw, but a virtue. This inspires admiration in those who value courage and strength. At the same time, her actions may cause rejection among those who fear change. But an inconvenient woman does not seek to please everyone. She walks her own path and knows that the main thing is to be honest with herself. Her inconvenience is an expression of strength and independence. An inconvenient woman is not one who makes life difficult for others, but one who lives by her own rules, not adapting to others' expectations. Her inconvenience is a strength, the ability to be honest with herself and those around her. She is not afraid to speak the truth and set boundaries. She breaks stereotypes without trying to be convenient or understandable to everyone. This is what makes her unique and strong. Such women evoke different reactions, from admiration to misunderstanding and even fear, but they always remain true to themselves. Her discomfort is her freedom, the ability to choose her life without looking back at others' opinions. Perhaps it is this freedom that makes her strong and unique in a world where many fear change. The most important quality each of us must develop is the ability to be uncomfortable about our principles, desires, and true goals. An uncomfortable woman is one who inspires others to be themselves, is not afraid to express her thoughts, and follows her own path. If you recognize yourself in these traits, know that this is your strength. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Fear not being uncomfortable. Fear losing yourself while trying to please others and forgetting your own desires. If you see the traits of an uncomfortable woman in yourself, don't be afraid to follow this path. Your strength lies in honesty with yourself and those around you. Remember, being uncomfortable is not a flaw, but a sign of inner freedom and independence. Share in the comments how you show your strength and stand up for your principles. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Don't forget to like. See you soon. Remember, your discomfort can become your greatest asset.